Welcome everyone. My name is Eric Wadlin. Welcome to this week's episode of Plate Time. This week we're going to be doing something fun, something I love. One of my favorite desserts is a pineapple upside down cake. Always reminds me of summer and sitting outside. This is going to be a kind of a quick little recipe. It won't take a lot for you to do at home. But this week it's going to be an interesting dessert because it's going to be vegan and gluten-free. I'm going to talk to you about some of the products that I like to use and why I like to use them. And you know, they worked well for me over trial and error. I've tried many different products over the years and found these are the ones that work the best and are the most consistent. The things you'll need for this week, you're going to need a pineapple, a nice mixer, a burner. You're going to need some ramekins. These are 10-ounce ramekins. You could also make this in a larger traditional style, you know, upside down cake in a 6x9 baking pan or a round pie pan, a deep dish pie pan. I'm making these individual, but you can make them just as easily, you know, the traditional looking way and then fold it over. We turned the oven on already, 325 degrees, so that is preheated and ready to go. We're going to use, instead of whole milk, we're going to use oat milk. We're going to use an egg replacer. This is the one that I use. It's Energy, but if you have a different one that you like or whatever, this one's really good for baking, as opposed to an egg replacer that you would use like for an omelet or something like that. I found that those don't work as well in baking applications. And then we have our Earth Balance butter, plant-based butter that we like to use. So as I said, so today we're going to make a pineapple-miso upside down cake. First we're going to start out with a fresh pineapple. A lot of recipes are over the years you've seen where they use canned pineapple. I don't use canned pineapple. Canned pineapple doesn't taste good. It's not going to give you the flavor that you want, and it's not going to have the bright freshness that you need for a dish like this. So we're going to start out with the pineapple here. Let me get a little couple bowls. We're going to use one for the garbage and one to put the chopped pineapple in. Oh, this baby's beautiful and ripe. I got this pineapple about a week ago. I always like to let my fruit sit out on the counter, warm up, get nice and ripe, and then I'll refrigerate it, which I have this one refrigerated. It's nice and cool. But first, ripen up your fruit. Don't buy it right from the store and put it right in the refrigerator. Put it on the counter for a couple days, 2 or 3 or 4. Kind of check it every day, make sure it's ripe, and then refrigerate it. I'm sure everybody's seen those, fun things that they, a pineapple core or a pineapple machine. I've tried all those. None of them work as well for me as just cutting the pineapple. But if you're into those gadgets, give them a shot. Some of them work well, some of them don't. All right, so the pineapple, as you know, has the core right down the middle. So the best way I like to do this is go on one side and do a couple slices straight down. On the side, we're going to do some dices here. This recipe will make about 6 to 8 upside down cakes or one large upside down cake. Now you want to dice these small, but not so small that they disappear when they bake, because remember, when you bake something, it's going to reduce in size. So don't get it too small. That won't work out too good. We're going to do just a little bit more here. Again, we're going to try to get everything, our mise en place together, so when we do make the upside down cakes, it's all quick and easy to go. So what I'm going to make next, I'm going to make the batter for the cake. This mixer here, I love this mixer. I know you probably all have KitchenAids at home. This one, my father was a baker. This was my father's mixer, so he had this for 20 plus years, and now I have it for the last 7, 8 years since he's passed away. But a great stand mixer, one of the best around. So to make this egg replacement to make 4 eggs, takes 1.5 teaspoons per egg, plus 2 tablespoons of hot warm water per egg. So it's going to take 2 tablespoons of the mix and 1/2 cup of warm water. So let me get the water just kind of get warm here. Got that. We got the egg replacer. It's a little powdery mix. So we're going to put 2 tablespoons in. Now this is just like making any other cake, right? You always want to start with the wet ingredients. Mix those, then add the dry ingredients so you don't overmix your cake. Overmix it too much. I should ask my son John. He made me, last week was my birthday, and he made me a beautiful German chocolate cake. It was the best. That is my favorite cake. As you can tell, these are nice, level tablespoons. Got our 2 tablespoons in there of our egg replacer. I'll put that off to the side. Use our 1/2 cup of warm water. That goes in. I'm going to turn it off so I can kind of explain. What I'm trying to do is kind of create almost like a meringue with the eggs. So it comes of a lighter and lighter, fluffier cake batter. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the egg replacement. I'm going to mix this very fast, very fluffy, and it's going to get thick, and it's going to have a volume to it. You see inside, nice videographer here, John Wadley. All right, here we go. Well, that looks good. It's thick, almost like meringue. It won't, obviously there's no sugar in it, so it's not going to peak like meringue, but it does have that consistency. The next thing we're going to add is the canola oil, 2/3 of a cup, and then we're going to add our oat milk. I like to use oat milk. I'm sure you could use coconut milk or almond milk or anything along those lines. I would use the coconut because we're going to add coconut and coconut spray to it. Then it just gets too coconutty with the coconut ice cream. But the oat milk is really, really good. Has a great flavor to it. You got 3/4 of a cup of oat milk. There we go. 3/4 of a cup of oat milk. Now we're going to get that mixed up. And then we're going to add I have a little cake mix here. It's 4 cups of cake mix. This is a gluten-free and vegan cake mix. This is called Pamela's. I like it because it has tapioca, potato, and rice in it. Now you just want to just mix this. Again, we did all the wet ingredients first so that we're not over mixing our cake batter. This is like, when you're making pancakes. That's it. So that's all that took. That was what? 10 seconds, 15 seconds? That's all you want to mix your cake batter. If you're mixing your cake batter more than 30 seconds, you're over mixing it and you're going to have a tough cake. This is going to be a very light and delicate little cake. I want to get these prepped. So these are ramekins. I like to use coconut oil. It just gives it a little flavor. You could use a vegetable oil or any other oil if you'd like. It doesn't matter. But you do want to spray these a little bit just so they don't stick, especially on the bottom because the sugar, the brown sugar mix here, we will get it sticky. 1/4 stick of vegan butter, get that melting, and we add into that 2 tablespoons of soy white miso. So this is the white miso here. In the recipe, in the cake mix, I didn't add any salt to it because, as you know, miso is salty. So I don't add any extra salt. This will be the salt, so you don't need to add any extra salt to it. So you need 2 tablespoons. We make a nice white miso vinaigrette at the restaurant with a little salad. It's delicious. It's just a soy miso, white soy miso. You can use it in everything, baking, desserts, salad dressing, sauces. All right, we got our butter and miso. 1 cup of light brown sugar. Use light brown sugar. Do not use dark brown sugar. Just want to whip this in so the butter, the plant butter, the miso, and the sugar are all incorporated and mixed together. This looks really good. It's not too thick, not too thin. Good consistency. As you know, I like to use spoons, so I'll hold the spoon like a pencil. We're just going to cover the bottom of the ramekin. 1 good ladle in each one. Maybe a little more in this one here. Look a little shy. I have my cake pan here for later. For my little kids, my little boys, we're going to make them we'll make a bigger cake too, okay? Pineapple in the bottom. A nice scoop of pineapple in each one. Be generous with the pineapple. Remember, it's a pineapple upside down cake. Don't get bashful. One big scoop in each one. Then what I like to do is you can tell the pineapple as I just will flatten it out with a spoon. So it's a little even all the way across. I can put a couple more in this one. in here even. And using a fresh pineapple will make a huge difference in your pineapple upside down recipe. There you go. Now you can see how the pineapple is in the bottom completely, covering the bottom of the ramekin. Now the next step is we're going to add the batter. You want to put it about a third of the way up or 3/4 of the way up. That's a nice looking batter there. You can see how the batter will come, run, but it's not runny, but it's not so thick that it won't come off the spoon. I'm going to put just a little more batter in this first one here. This is good batter. Good mix though. Again, it's not over mixed. You don't ever want to over mix your cake batter, your cake mix. You do that, you'll have a tough cake. It won't have that nice, light, airy consistency to it that you're looking for. It's always hard to write the recipe and say it'll make 6 or 8 because I don't know what size ramekin you got at home. Sometimes you think it's an 8 ounce, but really it's a 12 ounce, then it becomes bigger, so that does not work out. We got the cakes all ready to go. Our oven is preheated at 325 degrees, so we're gonna put our cakes in the oven. In they go. I'm gonna set the timer, it says probably 18 minutes. Always check it, you know how to check. You have your, I have my tin here that has my toothpicks in it. Pick the top of the cake. If it comes out and there's still batter on it, put it back in for a couple more minutes. I usually do 2 to 3 minutes every time to just keep testing it to make sure I have it so there's no batter on the cake when it comes out. Obviously, I don't want you guys sitting around here doing nothing and waiting for 15 minutes, so I have a couple of them already done. The beauty also of having 2 ovens. If you have a house and you have 2 ovens, I highly recommend it. So in the lower oven, I have the cakes that I made previously. See how they cooked right up to the top, nice golden brown. They came out excellent. Still a little warm there, be careful. As I said, these are warm, so I'm gonna use a little towel here. I always like to cut around the outside just to make sure that I've got it. I know I spray it and everything, or I can tell this one's actually starting to move. So if I can move the cake, then I know it's gonna be good. Now here's the upside down part. Ooh, that's warm. It's still warm. And there you go, look at that, huh? I like to get everything out of the inside. Put these on there. Oh, this looks really good. It smells really good too. All right, we're gonna garnish this. Again, like I told you the other day, odd numbers look better than even numbers, so we're gonna put 5 raspberries around there. We got some toasted coconut. We're gonna put a little toasted coconut around it. And should we put a little vegan ice cream on this too? Why not, right? So I have this one that's called Not a Moo, no cow. The one that I use at the restaurant that I really like is called Coconut Bliss. Coconut Bliss you can also find out there in the stores too, but this is Not a Moo, no moo. I don't want any paper though. No paper either, no moo, no paper. Nice vanilla bean ice cream. I like the oval scoop as opposed to the round scoop. It's a nice oval scoop. Got to be nice and flat. So I can put it right on top. This is also a coconut-based ice cream, so it'll go along good with this. So I'll put a little more toasted coconut on top. And here you go. You got your nice light summery dessert, miso pineapple upside down cake.